Hi everybody, Richard Tromans here again at Artificial Lawyer TV. Today we're doing another product walkthrough. This time we're looking at Eve. To tell us a lot more about it is Matt, who's going to be looking at particularly the intake aspect. Matt, please take it away.
Thank you, Richard, and really appreciate you having me on. Excited to talk about intake today. So quickly introducing myself, Matt Noe, one of the co-founders over at Eve. Our ambition at Eve is to help transform and empower plaintiff firms all over the country to provide a higher quality service for their end customers using our AI platform. What we're going to talk about today is our new intake product, which we're really excited to announce is going into GA. The high level value that we think our intake product provides is we want to make sure that you never let the $10 million settlement slip through the cracks. So whether it is a phone call that comes in the middle of the night where you don't have coverage, or if someone forgot to ask a question or having a tough morning on their intake team, we want to make sure that Eve is running as your second set of eyes, ears, and quote unquote voice, making sure that high value settlement doesn't slip through the cracks. And so I'll jump over to the product demo. And so the core of our intake product is based on top of call data. There are 3 different ways that calls can get into the Eve platform. First, and we'll get into this much more detail later, we have AI voice agents for fielding actual intake calls. This often is deployed initially as after hours and overflow answering service. But so calls can come in through that phone number. 2, we integrate with all of the main telephony providers. So think Zoom Contact Center, Ring Central, things of that nature. 3rd, we have our product Eve Scribe, which is a desktop application that can run on any laptop or desktop computer and listen in real time to any intake call that's happening and capture and transcribe all of that call information back into the platform. It's also able to provide insights around what questions need to be asked next and things like that to really help up-level the intake team. And so through those 3 different vehicles, calls come into the platform, on top of which our AI will classify those calls into 3 different buckets. First and foremost, if it is an intake call, it'll be classified as a lead. 2, it could be classified as a vendor call or something miscellaneous or not related. 3, can be a client call or a call from opposing counsel about a case. And so those are kept separate. But for calls that are identified as leads, a new lead is created in Eve. And so when you look at this view, a couple things will jump out at you. We automatically detect the type of case, whether it's a motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, things of that nature. 2, we'll extract and create a generated summary to help you get quickly up to speed on what this lead is about. And 3rd, a lead score, which helps the end user understand what are the highest value cases that have come in, and really with the ultimate goal be helping them spend more time on the leads cases that matter. And so we'll drill into a specific lead, and you'll notice we auto generate on top of that call transcript a intake form, which has a number of different pieces. First and foremost, you'll see that lead score, as well as much more detail around why did Eve think that this lead deserves or warrants this score. And so you can see this specific lead, it's an okay case, but not great because there were a couple major red flags. A question I commonly get asked here is, is this customizable to my firm? And the answer is, we come with great out-of-box defaults for all different types of cases, but every firm is different. So of course, this is completely customizable based off the criteria that any given firm may have for any different type of case. And so looking further down at our intake form, you'll notice we have that auto-generated summary about the lead, as well as we extract a lot of different key information into that intake form. So these are effectively key fields. Same question always comes up, is this customizable? What if I want these different fields, et cetera? It's of course all customizable to the firm's preferences. The other thing that's nice about this, specifically the fields portion of this intake form, is firms will often pull this into their existing lead or case management system. And the benefit that has is it's automatically extracted on top of the call. And so when the intake agent is live speaking with the potential client, they don't actually need to be manually entering data into their CRM. They can have a human like conversation with the potential client. And but after the call, Eve will automatically pull all that into their existing system. So it syncs back effectively. Um, Ultimately, all of this information is calculated on top of the call transcript. And so you can see for this lead, this specific call transcript is one that was created via one of our voice agents. And so, how the AI voice agents work is every firm can have one or multiple different agents, each of which comes with a phone number that is easily integrated into any modern telephony system. Another question I always get asked is, can I customize that agent? What if I have my own kind of flow I like for my intake scripts and things like that? And of course, again, it's all customizable to the specific firm. I'll go ahead and play the audio so people can get a sense for how the voice sounds.
Hello, thank you for calling Eve Legal. How can I help you today?
Hey, yeah, I've had a bad car accident and I need help.
I'm really sorry to hear you've been through that. Before we continue, may I get your name so I can address you properly?
Yeah, my name is Serena Liu, and I was driving home on the 280 when a car hit me from behind, and since then my neck and lower back have been killing me. And the MRI showed a small disc issue, but I've been doing PT every day, and I'm just like upset about what happened, and I feel like I should be able to get some compensation.
Thank you for sharing that, Serena. It sounds like this has been a painful and stressful experience for you. Before we go further, what's the best phone number for our team to reach you?
And so I won't play the entire call just for the sake of time, but hopefully that gives a sense for how the voice sounds and the flow and things of that nature. We actually spent quite a bit of time on training our own custom voice models because we feel like that maybe the single most important thing about the AI voice agents is that it sounds as human like as possible, right? You really want that end prospect to feel like they're engaging with the person and things like that. And so we spent quite a bit of time training our own custom models, and they flow all the way through. So hopefully that paints a picture for the lead capability as a whole, the voice agents, our intake form. There's all sorts of other, you're able to leverage the normal Eve capabilities like being able to ask questions about the lead itself. This comes in handy when maybe attorney or someone is coming in to see whether or not the lead is something that they would like to take on. They're able to ask questions, Eve will answer using that call transcript. The other piece that we feel is quite important is the lead fits seamlessly with the rest of the Eve platform. And so when a lead is decided to actually be a case that you want to take on, you're able to add it to one of your existing matters in Eve. And so what the benefit that has is then the call transcript, as well as this kind of auto-generated intake form, will live as a part of the actual case for the entirety of its time being worked in Eve. Benefits of this are, when you're getting up to speed on the case, you're able to ask questions and use information from the initial intake call transcript. Or when you're drafting your demand, you're able to actually leverage all of that information. So we feel it's pretty important to have that full picture over the entire life cycle of the case. The last thing I typically like to mention is, again, Eve's goal is to be the single platform for all of your AI casework. And so when the case is going further down and it's settling, that information is going to bubble all the way back up to the intake side so that users will be able to understand, or Eve rather, will kind of learn what the best cases are, and that will automatically factor into the lead scoring, things of that nature. So hopefully that kind of paints the picture for the set of our intake capabilities. And again, we're really excited for this one. There's been a lot of demand for AI assistance on the intake side. So we're pretty excited about this new product launch.
Thanks, Matt. And viewers should know that this is just one aspect of Eve. There's a whole bunch of different features. This is primarily focused on the intake side of things. Just a couple of quick sort of practical questions. Anyone watching this who'd like to bring this aboard their firm, how do they do it? How do they bring this in?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You can just reach out to the Eve team, and then we'll get you set up to try the product. We generally like to think our product is extremely easy to use, extremely easy to get up and running. So you can just go to our site and reach out, and you'll get set up with a test account.
Gotcha. And in terms of pricing, I mean, how does this work? You have just like an annual license per person? It's for volume of cases?
Yeah,
How does that work?
great question. So for the voice agent side, it is volume based, and we have different packages that include up to a certain number of minutes, or effectively number of calls that would be being fielded. Same thing as far as like telephony integration. It's all based off number of leads effectively.
Gotcha. And just the last sort of practical question is, in terms of integration, obviously many firms will have some form of document management system or other system of storage and filing. I mean, this integrates with everything, I presume?
Yep. Yeah, we generally believe in the open ecosystem. So everything that we showed here is all available via APIs. We get various Zapier things set up, and then we also have native integrations with a lot of the common systems out there.
Fantastic. And I think just really the very last question really was just because, it's a global audience here. Obviously this works in the US. Will this work in other markets, Canada or other places?
Great.
Like maybe even the UK even perhaps?
Great question. Our focus is on the US market for now, although there's nothing inherently about the product that is strict and won't work in those other geos. We do have a couple customers in Canada. But our focus as a company is on the US market today.
Fantastic. Well, look forward to hearing more about Eve, as I'm sure you all will. But that's all we have time for today. Thank you very much, Matt.
Great. Thank you, Richard.